I wanted her to have like syphilis from a past relationship, and he's got to get over like the fact that she has like syphilis outbreaks every now and then. And he accepts her for who she is. Aren't we accepting her for who she is what I'm saying? But she can't have syphilis for some reason.
Oh my God, Tony.
Area should be played at high volume.
I wrote an intro. Rita's going to read it. Against your will.
Against my will. Well, I'm just hoping it sounds good in my voice when it's clearly written in yours. Yeah, it won't work, I think, with me. All right, ready? Roll out the red carpet for Miss Effortlessly Lovable, who's basically the human equivalent of, I forgot to clean my room, but hey, look at my personality. In a world where tidiness is optional and chowing down like Cookie Monster is cute, she's nailing it. Out of the blue, Mr. Chiseled Jawline decides he's madly in love with her because he watched a rom-com once and believes in quirky love. They lose themselves in a hurricane of filthy sex, orgasmic kissing, and deliriously happy outings. But wait, there's more. As seen on TV for the same emotional price, get 2 chiseled jawlines for the price of 1. That's right, Mr. Chiseled Jawline has a clone. Because nothing screams drama like realizing your guy comes with a spare model. And here's Miss Effortlessly Lovable caught in the middle of this hunky tug-of-war. Oh, the horror, 2 gorgeous guys fighting for me? But when you're an endearing mess that's effortlessly lovable, why settle? Double your pleasure, double your fun, double your therapy bills.
So that's pretty accurate, right?
100%. When I read that, I was like, oh my God. I mean, that is the book. And you like to kind of like chop it all away, all the good bits.
Yeah.
But I feel like, yeah.
When you distill it down, it's basically a slightly chubby but cute woman falls in love with a super hot and sexy dude who is deeply and madly in love with her for all of her quirkiness. Mm-hmm. They fall in love, but come to find out he has a twin? Hold on, before we continue, there's going to be spoilers, right? There's going to be a lot of spoilers in this because I want to talk in depth about the book and the storyline.
No, I'm surprised you actually said in-depthly talk about it.
Yeah.
Only because I know these aren't your type of books, and I'm glad and happy that you did read it.
Yeah, exactly. These are not my type of books. So why in God's name did Rita think I would enjoy this book? She came to me, she was like, read this book, Man Crush Monday. You're going to love it. I'm like, I'm going to love it? Are you sure about that? She's like, yeah, I'm sure you'll like it. It's different.
I don't remember that conversation.
So I was like, okay, I'll read it. So I read it. It is like, I had to put the book down. And then I texted you. I was like, what is wrong with you?
No.
Immediately after, I called my therapist. And I was like, listen, I think my sister hates me. Because she keeps recommending you these garbage books.
It's not garbage. Like, when I think of like a true rom-com, this is definitely what I would imagine to read. And this is, I mean, it's so lighthearted. Like, there is some drama in there. It gets a little serious, like very little, but I feel like for the most part, it's super lighthearted and funny and super emotional in a really good way, like just enough to like make the romance pop, you know? And it's not super like spicy romance, which I like too. I like that it's like a real 100% just lighthearted rom-com.
Lord of the Rings would be more believable than this book.
How so?
This book is a complete fantasy.
No, it is not.
Yes. Okay. So this girl who, again, she's charming and cute and quirky and kind of fat. And I keep bringing that up. Not because I'm sexist, but because she brings it up several times in the book that she's kind of chunky. And she loves to eat. And the food is getting all over her face, but he thinks it's cute. I'm like, and then he even makes jokes about her weight and how she likes to eat. And I'm like, wait a minute.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. I'm going to quote it on the screen.
Okay, do it.
Okay, hold on.
I did this.
Let me see.
I'd be dead.
Because if I did this, Priscilla would murder me. She's like, how dare you comment on anything I'm eating, and don't you ever mention my weight. But this guy, because he has a perfect jawline, he can mention that she just chows down on food like she is the Cookie Monster.
He says it because he's like, I love that you love food. For once, here's a girl who's not afraid to eat food in front of a dude.
My brain is melting.
Eat as much as you'd like. This is so refreshing, and I think this is great.
Okay, you just said that I love that you love food. If Abel came to you and was like, honey, I love how you just love food, you'd be like, F you, bro.
No.
F you and your whole life. Get out of here.
Not in those exact words, but we've had that conversation
Don't lie to me.
I'm not. I promise you 100%. He even says, like, I'm so happy that like you're not so worried about what you eat and things like that. Like you're just so happy when you eat. It's just great.
And you accepted
wrong with that?
You accepted that.
Yeah, because first of all, I already have all my insecurities and like that's already like a thing.
You're already in control of your insecurities?
Yeah. You know what I mean? I already know what's true and what's not true. So I mean, at least he acknowledges it and he's just like, I do. Why is that so impossible to believe that someone does love that about you? Why would that be an impossible thing?
No, it's not that. Like, I can understand why somebody would like that about somebody, but I just don't accept that, like...
It's believable, like it's real life.
A woman would just be like, oh, thanks. Like...
But
it's more of like a comment about her weight and her eating habits, right? It's a comment about her eating habits, but also on top of that, she also acknowledges that she's overweight slightly, I think. And there's a moment where he makes fun of her over it, and she's like totally fine with it.
But her personality, she's obviously she has really high self-esteem. I have never read her talking about herself in a negative way. Like she's always super positive, super bubbly. She's like, this is who I am and it's great. And like, she's always been super positive. So I don't think she would be that type of person anyways to take it the wrong way. So because she doesn't take it the wrong way, I didn't take it the wrong way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess.
I am
and
the
you're
character.
right. She didn't take it the wrong way. She totally accepted it.
Yes.
But my point is, overall, is don't call me a sexist, okay? Because she says that she's fat and she accepts it.
She
okay?
doesn't say
so
that.
Several times, okay, I apologize to all the women out there. So in this video, I will mention that she's slightly overweight, and let's not all get upset about it because she acknowledges and accepts it in the book. Can we agree to that? Baseline?
That's what you want. But wait, hold on. I have something to say. A lot of books now are being super inclusive, and I've noticed a lot of the leading ladies or even leading guys, they're very much so more realistic. Like they're much.
Oh my God! Did you just say the leading man is realistic?
I don't know.
Let's get into the details of Jared Stone, shall we? And see how realistic he is.
Depending on what the story is. I don't know. I don't read many stories where it's the main guy. No,
okay,
stop.
no.
I'm not done with what I'm talking about. I'm not done. I'm not. Ugh, stop it.
I gotta find my center.
Yeah, breathe. Like Ella says, you scrunch up your hands, you breathe 3 times, and then you let it go. So anyways, a lot of female leads are being portrayed more like average people. So there are more curvy women and stuff like that. And I think that's great. And I think it's just small things that authors are adding into their story about their characters to make them more for you to connect to them more. We're tired of reading about skinny women who don't eat and whatever, and they still have really bad self-esteem issues. She knows exactly who she is. She's amazing, and okay,
yes.
She's a little chunky and she likes this. Who cares?
That's not my problem. I agree 100% with what you said. And my problem is that how come it doesn't apply to the guy? Yes, you're right about everything, 100% about what you said about her.
Oh, because he's super fit?
But he is super fit and super smart and super rich. And if he wasn't, she wouldn't be that interested in him, would she?
Yeah, she would because...
Don't lie to me!
She fell in love with the other brother.
With the other one who is also super fit and super charming and super cute.
But not super rich.
Okay, but she didn't know that.
And super unorganized. No, she did know that. She was like, he's exactly the type of guy I would always go for. And that's why we would never work.
So, in the beginning, right?
Unorganized. Doesn't follow through. Yeah. Like, they're too much of the similar person. And
I
that's
also...
her. She's not rich.
Okay, but we're getting too far into it. So, in the beginning...
I'm trying to...
Smack me down? No.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm telling you my problems. My problems with this book specifically. So in the beginning, I was kind of confused, and she rectifies it later with the whole twist, spoiler alert, that there's twins, right? In the beginning, my problem was that this guy seemed too perfect, and there was literally not enough time in life for him to accomplish everything that she says he is, right? He is super rich, like he's got a great job, he's super funny, he's OCD, he's a good cook, he also is fit, so he works out, he's also an artist, he also likes Star Wars, and he likes all of these things. I'm like, there's literally not enough time in the day to be all of those things, but it's rectified later to find out there's 2 people.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So one person actually is not accomplishing all of these things, but it still does not change the fact that the guy has to be super perfect in order for him or her to fall deeply and madly in love with her. He's so unrealistic that it doesn't even make sense.
No.
Like,
What you're
Okay,
saying
he's
doesn't
super
make
fit, but
sense.
also has a
No.
great job.
No.
These two things are contradictory, especially now that I've lived a corporate life for like a decade now. If you have a great job that you're a manager of and it's super demanding, like you would not also have time to be super fit because it's difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible, it's difficult. Also, he has a lot of time to spend with his friends. Also, he has a lot of time to spend with his girlfriend. Also, he has a lot of time to learn how to cook.
No.
When does he find the time in his life? Also, he's only barely 20 and he's a manager of like some high-priced marketing firm and he's
Listen.
also a fucking asshole to everybody at work.
I know.
So if this person is OCD and an asshole at work and also takes pride in how he looks, how would he also be willing to accept somebody that obviously does not take pride in how she looks and is the opposite of OCD and is nice to absolutely everyone because she's charming? Like,
Are you done? Are you done?
Okay.
Are you done? Because a lot of what you said is just nonsense.
What?
Truly.
I'm sure those words made sense.
No, they made sense, but like, I don't agree with that shit. That's ridiculous. Okay, first of all, opposites attract, number one. She was in love with him before she even knew this person. That is why it's called Man Crush Monday. She had a huge crush on some dude she just saw taking the train
So,
every day.
to
She
co-
didn't even know
To
him.
clarify for the audience, right? She falls in
She's
love
a
with one
hopeless
twin
romantic.
that is an artist and like into Star Wars, like nerdy like her, right?
And she already
But the
knows
one
they
she
wouldn't
actually dates is the OCD one,
Brother,
right?
twin brother.
Which I don't understand how they look exactly alike. Again, the OCD brother that's always outgoing and like a go-getter, I can understand why he would maybe be able to make it to the gym even though he's working 60 hours a week. But the brother who's kind of like a leaf on the wind and an artist and a nerd who
Why is he
loves to binge watch, like why is he super fit?
Maybe you could just...
That dude should have a beer gut.
I mean, that's kind of...
That would be believable.
I guess, but not really. Some people are just born...
Born
very-
super fit with a chiseled jaw and a six-pack? I
Calm
don't
down.
think so.
Calm down. Chiseled jaw, that is kind of a born into thing, I think.
guess.
I'm not a man with a chiseled jaw, but...
if you binge watch Netflix for freaking years on end and eating pizza while doing it, you
Stop.
kind of develop a double chin.
I don't agree with you. And also, this is a book, so chill out.
That's what I'm
okay?
saying. It's a book the same way Lord of the Rings is a book.
Stop.
High fantasy in the best possible way.
Yeah, I suppose. Regardless of all that, okay? I feel like...
let's not lie to ourselves
No,
here. He has to be an Adonis for this
No.
book to work. If he was bald
I-
and fat, she would not be in love with
But
him.
that's for all romance books.
If there was a book where a man was fat and chubby and he was dating like a supermodel, you'd be like, oh, he's so shallow. And this book is so
No.
unbelievable. Women or guys are just into women that are
Nope.
hot. Like,
He
why can't they
probably-
both be ugly?
Listen. Oh my God. That's his problem. Why can't they just both be ugly and happy and in love?
She's not even ugly. I'll
But
clear
it's,
that.
listen, it's all perspective though. Her handsome may not be my handsome.
Oh, so you're saying like
To her,
through her,
he's perfect.
he's perfect. But if we saw it in reality, he actually has a
Maybe.
peg leg and a glass eye.
Yeah, you never know.
You're like, what is happening?
Yeah,
They're on
maybe
two different
he's-
levels. Like those people you see
It's
like in the
true.
bar and she's like hot and he's like,
Not.
is that her father?
Yeah, exactly. It might be one of those situations you don't know, but that's why, like, romance is just romance. It doesn't matter. Okay, everybody's preferences are different. So maybe they say, oh, he has a chiseled jaw, blah 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 blah, whatever. But I mean, you could honestly be imagining somebody totally different than what you're even reading on the page.
Okay, so we're agreeing that this is a figment of her imagination and this is just complete fantasy.
This is her preference. This is all her preference
and
and
you
what she
were
likes.
you were reading this, just eating it up. You're like, yes, this would definitely happen.
No, I really just liked that she was so authentically herself and like she didn't apologize for it, and I thought that was great. And I also just thought her falling in love with someone that she really needed to be in love with, to be honest, and seeing that and being like, stop.
She obviously fell in love with Jared Stone, right?
Yeah.
And then Theo comes along and she's like, oh no, maybe I was in love with him. Like, bro, open your eyes, man. You're obviously in love with this guy.
I know.
You're making it way worse for yourself.
Yeah.
You're making it way worse than it actually is. She had to like take time off. She had to consult her mom and her grandma and her freaking astrologist.
Yeah,
Like,
I love that.
What?
I love that was thrown in for some reason. That
Yeah.
her mom and her grandma are just like some really weird old biddies. I love that. I loved it so much.
So her life is essentially like perfect and then the perfect man comes into her perfect life and accepts her perfectness for the
No,
perfectness
she's
that it
not
is,
perfect,
and
and
like,
she even
but that's what I'm
acknowledges
saying. Like
that.
this story just seems like perfect. Like
No.
everything's
Well,
perfect.
'cause
There's
it's-
never any issues
It is
that they have to
a
overcome.
rom-com. It's a rom-com. It's not a fucking tragedy, okay? Chill the fuck
Like
out.
I wanted her to have like syphilis from a past relationship, and he's got to get over like the fact that she has like syphilis outbreaks every now and then. And he accepts her for who she is. Aren't we accepting her for who she is what I'm saying? But she can't have syphilis for some reason.
Oh my God, Tony. What the hell? What is wrong with you?
How come rom-coms never have syphilis or some kind of like venereal disease
saying,
that affects millions of Americans?
No, it's like saying, why can't in a Hallmark Christmas movie, someone fucking die? Because that's just not what happens.
Yeah, why can't grandma be murdered during a holiday special on Hallmark?
No.
It happens to everyone.
It's okay. No, Tony, that's not what a rom-com is. It wouldn't be called that.
The whole time I was reading this, it's just, you could see my notes in my book. I'm like, just so unbelievable. Like, f***ing lies. No, this is not true.
But it isn't. I felt like their relationship, is something that could be authentic. I felt like her struggling with the fact that I thought I fell in love with someone totally different than who I'm presented with now. I felt like that was...
How long would you have struggled with that, though? Like, in reality?
I mean, in reality, it probably would have thrown me, especially after I kissed the dude who wasn't the person she was dating. I would have been like, hold on, just hold on.
So she didn't know they were twins, and she goes up to the other twin and just kisses him out of the blue, like filthy raunchy kiss.
Yeah. Like,
and then walks away, and he's just like stunned. And then later she finds out she actually kissed the twin.
Yeah. And at that point, that's when I would have really brought it up to the person and be like, I'm struggling right now because I thought the same person is now two people.
Help me wrap my brain around this.
That would bother me a little bit. But the whole like being in love with someone, I probably would have gotten over pretty quickly, only because I would have been like, well, he isn't this person that I've been spending all this time with and who I've obviously connected with. But she was struggling more with the idea of this, of who she thought this person was.
I suppose she struggled with what's a crush and then what's love, right? So I felt like she had a crush on Theo, but I felt like she was in love with Jared.
For sure.
I won't ruin the ending, the very end, but I think she realized that right at the end is like, one's a crush and then one's like love, right?
Yeah.
And she was lucky enough for the crush to lead to love, even though it was with somebody else.
Right.
So I get that.
Yeah.
It's not like I didn't get the point of the story. I feel like this could have easily been summed up like in 3 paragraphs. Like,
Tony,
perfect woman falls in love with perfect man, finds out he has a twin, struggles with it for a bit, ends up being fine.
Listen.
End of story.
No.
2 chapters is all I needed.
No.
3 for the epilogue.
No, this was great. I loved, honestly, every moment. I loved it.
Why did you think I was going to like it?
I didn't think you would like it.
I was so angry with you after I finished this.
I was like,
how dare she think I like this smutty romance? I'm just saying, like, every time they interact, like, simple touching, kissing, not just in this book, but some other, like the fire book that you had me read. What was that?
That one was very spicy stuff.
Every time they simply touched, it was like an explosion of fireworks, a volcano went off, the earth is shaking. It's very disconcerting.
But not this book. I felt like this one was pretty mild.
No. Some scenes, maybe, but there are some filthy scenes in here.
Well, I mean, it is for adult women, but like, compared to other stuff that I've been reading, honestly...
Jeez, what are you reading?
Oh my God.
You have to put the book down and look over your shoulder?
Seriously,
like, oh God.
the latest, The Haunting Adeline, holy crap. That is some crazy shit that where I'm like reading it and I'm like, there are people around the world reading this and I'm worried about humankind.
What is it called?
Haunting Adeline. There's so many warnings before you even read the book.
That's the kind of book I want. Start recommending that to me. I want a book that comes with a warning. This didn't come with the only warning that this would have is like you're going to be wasting your time. That should have been the warning.
Stop it. I even want to say this is probably mild in this realm of whatever genre this is because holy cow. I was like, what is happening?
Recommend that book to me.
You don't want to read that. You think this was smutty. Oh, please.
Oh, it's a romance?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm telling you, I didn't even know what some of the disclaimers were, what they meant. I had to look them up. I had to look it up. Be like, wait, what is that? Oh, that's what that is.
What is the acronym for BDSM?
It's not even. It's not even.
It's beyond that. What is beyond that?
It like gunplay stuff and like yeah,
Gunplay?
Tony. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Thank you for watching. Let me know if I'm right or if Reeve is wrong in the comments. Also, let us know in the comments if you want us to read
Haunting Adeline, which I've already read.
Preferably in a residential area. Should be played at high volume.